I'm Jess. I'm a nurse and a mom with a passion for flipping furniture. I'm using that passion to pay my way to gain my master's in nursing. So join me in this journey and let's flip this script. We are coming at you today with these free, ugly, dirty chairs I got on Facebook Marketplace. They are so heavy and so dirty. So we're going to try to give them some new life and clean them up and see what we can do. Super dirty. I've already whitewashed. I've sanded these down and whitewashed them to get rid of the like orangey brown that they were. So my plan is to clean these up. If I don't think the color goes together, I might try to paint this. And then I'm thinking I'll spray paint the black, or spray paint these black. So that's kind of the plan. I kind of want these to go a little bit deeper brown, but we'll see how it goes. So I cleaned it. But there's a couple stains that just will not come out. So I think I'm going to try a DIY that I saw on Lone Fox DIY's page, where you paint it to make it look like faux leather, because some of that just won't come out, and I won't be able to sell it like that. So I think that would go better with the, I might also change the color of these then and just do like an early American stain. I think that would look better with like a darker wood. So that's the plan. So I managed to get these off, and I've just roughed them up with some 80 grit sandpaper, just to try to get the new paint to adhere. You want a roughed up surface. Next I'm going to clean it with my Crud Cutter pre-paint, if I can find where I put it. Right there. This is what I love to use the best. Next up, I'm going to use a Sandable Automobile primer. Just before I use this pretty much on all metal. Before I paint it, it makes it actually last. Just be mindful of fumes.
It was white.
Okay, so I'm gonna start mixing. I already got my spray thing, whatever you call this, whatever, spray bottle, yeah. And what I did was 2/3 warm water and 1/3 of fabric softener. So next I'm going to start mixing the paint. My husband, I asked him for sample size, and he picked me up a massive one. So I should have a lot of paint. I chose the color Butter Caramel from Behr. I need to get this open. Here it is. Okay, so I picked that, and from the research I've done, the best mix appears to be 2 parts paint, 1 part fabric softener. So I am going to try that, and I'm going to try to paint it on the back, an inconspicuous spot, just to see how it looks. So I'll do 4 scoops to start. And the other color I have, we actually had in our basement from the people who used to live here. The basement was painted this like ridiculous colors of brown and yellow, but it's Beaver Creek, so I think for this project it might be perfect. So I'm hoping that it's not nasty and congealed, because it was a while ago. Let's pop it open and pray. Let's see. Cross your fingers. I don't want to buy more paint, so please work. Aha, it's all right. So it's kind of like a brownish gray, which hopefully that goes. I really don't want to buy more paint, especially since he bought that great big thing. So next I'm going to, I should have grabbed 2 spoons, crap. Okay, so 2 scoops of fabric softener. And then apparently as you mix it, sorry, I'll try to move it so you can see. I'm just using old jam jars. Apparently as you mix it, it turns like, almost like a rubbery consistency. So we shall see. I've never done this before. But like I said, I got these chairs for free, so if they look horrible, I guess it's not a huge loss. I'll be super disappointed, but I don't know how long you're supposed to stir it for. Pretty goopy. I don't know if the Beaver Creek's gonna work. It's quite gray, but I'm gonna try on the back here, just like an inconspicuous spot.
It's all the green one.
Just to make sure it'll work. let that dry and see if it works. So had it all cleaned up, ready to paint, and a couple little gremlins decided to rub chocolate all over it. So I guess we'll be cleaning it again. Okay, this is super hard to show, but I've got my two colors. I've got the like, my blooper is, my fly's undone. So I've got the caramel color, which is going to be the main color, and then I went to Home Depot and got a sample size of dark, I think it's called Behr's Rug or Raw Wood, or I don't know what it's called. Let's see. Raw Wood, I think. So we will see how this goes. I don't know if you guys can really see, but I'm just going to try. Still working in the back. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but the dried swatch that I did turned out really good. So that's what I'm going to do, is just paint it on. And then once I get to the edges, that's where I'm going to use the darker paint. So hopefully this works. It's kind of like more mustardy than I wanted, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed this works. Okay, we've got the first coat on. I'm really actually liking it. I've just been putting the darker brown on the edges and the seams, and I've been using a ton of the spray with the fabric softener and water just to like spread it around and blend it. You can kind of see there, that's just the first coat. As a reminder, this is before, tons of stains, so before and during. I'm liking it. It has like a really cool modern color. Yeah, check that out. And that's the first coat, so I'm really happy with that. I want to blend the back a bit more, but somebody just smashed my paint jar all over the floor, so we had to take a little break. I'm going to do one chair at a time, just so I can sit on the other one. Hopefully I'm able to match the like 2 to 1 ratio of everything and keep the colors pretty consistent, but we need a break, a workout break. Yeah, and to clean up glass. All right, I'm back to these chairs. Just a reminder, this is the original and this is the painted one. I did another coat. I didn't really like how the brown edges were looking, and there was a lot of brush marks. So I tried to use a sponge, which helped. I'm just hoping that subsequent layers will help cover that up. I do want them to look the same. And then back to sanding these, because some of the veneer got sanded through. So fortunately there's beautiful wood underneath with a really pretty grain. It's just a matter of sanding off this stain that I put on that did not absorb well. So it's like really gross and gumming up my sander, but that's what we're working on today. And then we'll resand the metal parts that go under, and then hopefully these start looking really good. So I didn't record that because I've been sanding those arms for 3 hours straight. My forearm is so sore and it was ridiculously boring just to do, so I didn't think I'd want to subject you guys to that. I listened to several true crime stories, long ones, 3 1-hour segments, just to sand 4 armrests. They look really good, but man, this project better turn out. And I'm like at the point in the project where I'm like, this isn't gonna work. Why did I waste all this time? But anyways, they're done and the wood looks really pretty. I just had to stop and pick up the boys, and then hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit of work done on our kitchen. I might be done with this project for today because it's driving me insane. But yeah, that's the update on the chairs. So from painting yesterday, it's still in my arm, and it's a beautiful caramel color, kind of mustard. But I'm dropping my kids off at school and I realize it's still in my arm. And you can't really tell here, but it looks exactly like baby poop. Okay, so I like the color of the chair, but it's a little more mustard than I'm wanting. So what I did is I mixed the Behr brown Behr? I don't know what it's called. It's Behr brand, but like Behr brown, also like B-A-R-E brown. mixed with the burnt caramel, and it's kind of like more, I kind of am digging it. I'm hoping it works. It's kind of got that like more reddish tone of leather that I'm going for. So I did just do like a scuff sand, and I'm hoping this is more what I'm going for. The good news is all the sanding that I did on the armrest yesterday looks so good with the natural wood. So I'm kind of trying to pick between the stain, or if this looks good with the natural color, then I will just seal the raw wood, because I'm a sucker for blonde raw wood. So that's where we're at. All right, moment of truth. I'm about to wipe the new color. Oh, is it gonna look good? I think that's more of the color I'm going for. Shoot, I forgot my spray bottle, because you need your spray bottle with 2/3 water and 1/3 fabric softener to spread it out and just help with the disbursement of paint, so you avoid brush marks. So I gotta run and get that before this dries out. So after my 10 millionth coat, I am loving how this looks. It's hard to show it in the sunlight, but it's looking like the brown, like, it won't focus, beautiful leather look that I was looking for. And this was already faux leather. It would just look like that, really worn out. And my sweet child decided to spray paint on it. So that's really adding to the look. But this is what the beautiful wood was underneath all that veneer, and oh my gosh, it's gonna look so pretty. I'm kind of undecided about which stain to use. Like I said, I just put that sample. I'm gonna have to video it tonight when it's not so bright out, but these are the colors. I'm thinking Early American, which is that one, or possibly Provincial. Maybe. I'm trying to sell this one.
Now, why the other? You showed the other one?
Not yet. So during this reassembly, it was a little bit difficult just to get the metal back where it originally was and to find the old screw holes. So that took me a while. Here I'm just screwing the base back on, and to get this black color, I didn't just spray paint it because that will chip off with use. So as I showed you, I scuff sanded it with 80 grit sandpaper, wiped it down. Then I used a Automotive Sandable primer. I let that dry. I actually did 2 coats of that, and then I went over it with black Rustoleum Matte spray paint. After that, I obviously let it dry overnight. I did several coats, and then I topped it with Rustoleum's matte top coat. So I did a couple of coats of that just because I didn't want the spray paint to flake off. So that is how I dealt with the black metal base, I guess. And then I also did the same with the bolts that I'm just attaching in. Only the ones that would show through. So the ones that reattach the wood, I screwed those on. I also changed the color of the wood to Early American. I just didn't like how the raw wood looked. Here I'm just using dark antique furniture wax from Behr. I guess it's for chalk paint, but I'm using it for this. And that I'm just going around the seams and the areas of the chair that wouldn't get as worn out as quickly. This is just going to add some dimension to the chair, as well as to add a little bit more of an authentic leather look. So I'm just putting this on. You put this on and then you let it sit for 2 hours before you buff it out. So I'm just applying it liberally. I probably next time would use a bristle brush to apply this, and then just buff it out with the lint-free rag. But this also worked pretty good. So that is what I'm doing here. You can also see here that the arms are still the raw wood after I put the hemp oil on them. I liked them, however, it just wasn't the look I was going for, so I ended up staining these in Early American and then letting that sit and topping them with another coat of hemp oil.